kept finding grocery bags outside my door, neatly packed, always tied with care. And when I finally learned who was leaving them, it broke something deep inside me. It started small. A sack of apples, a loaf of bread, a carton of milk. No note, no explanation. Just waiting for me after long nights when I came home too tired to cook. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Wrong apartment. But then it kept happening. A bag of rice, fresh eggs, once, a still warm pie. I asked around the building. Nobody knew anything. My landlord shrugged. Probably some delivery mix-up. But it wasn't. Because every time I reached the bottom of that bag, I'd find something tucked away. A sticky note with handwriting that leaned heavy to the left. Just small reminders. Eat well. Don't skip meals. Take care of yourself. By the third week, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Who would do this for me? Why me? And then one night, coming home late, I caught him. An old man at the end of the hall, thin, hunched, holding 2 heavy grocery bags. He froze when he saw me, like a child caught stealing. "They're from you?" I asked. His eyes dropped to the floor. He nodded. I used to shop for 2, he whispered. His voice cracked, dry as paper. Old habits die hard, I guess. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The grocery bag hung heavy in my hands, but the weight in his words was heavier. He looked so small then, standing in the hallway, like a man carrying a life no one else could see anymore. "I'm sorry," I murmured, though I wasn't even sure what for. For asking, for intruding, for the ache spilling out of him that I couldn't possibly mend. He gave me the faintest smile, brittle at the edges. "Don't be. It's nice. Having someone notice." My wife, Clara, used to love it when I brought groceries home. "She passed last winter," he said. 60 years, and I still write down what she needs. Butter, tea, fresh strawberries, things she loved. His chest rose and fell as he tried to steady himself. But every time I came home with the bags, and she wasn't here, he shook his head. I couldn't stand the silence, so I started leaving them outside your door. I thought, maybe if someone else ate well, she'd feel a little less gone. And before I could lose my nerve, I asked softly, "Would you show me your apartment?" He studied me for a long time, eyes wet but searching, as if deciding whether letting me in would break him further or hold him together. Finally, he gave the smallest nod. He let me walk him back upstairs. His apartment was dim, almost empty, except for the kitchen. And there, on the counter, were dozens of lists written in that same tilting hand, each one labeled with a name, Clara. My throat burned. I couldn't speak. But he wasn't finished. He pulled out an old notebook, its pages soft from use. "Every night, I write her a list. I know she'll never read them, but I can't stop. It's all I know, loving her like she's still here." He opened to a page dated that very morning. It read, "Clara, don't forget to eat. You always forget when you're tired. I'll remind you, like always." The ink bled in my eyes until I couldn't tell where his handwriting ended, and my tears began. I looked at him, at that fragile notebook, at the bags waiting quietly on the floor. They weren't gifts for me. They were echoes of a promise he still kept, even with no one left to keep it for. That night I sat at my table with the groceries he'd left. I made a meal I didn't even feel hungry for, and as I ate, I cried. Not just for him, not just for Clara, but because in those lists, in those small acts of care, I saw a love so stubborn it refused to vanish, even when she did. And maybe that's the cruelest part of grief. Sometimes it doesn't look like heartbreak. Sometimes it looks like milk, bread, apples, ordinary things carrying the weight of someone you'll never stop shopping for.